Watercolor by Scarlett Damen. And today I'm going to do a few sketches. So this is something I like to do every now and then when I feel inspired and I just want to get some sketches out. I could do them in a sketchbook, that would make sense, and then have a sketchbook that I could, flip through and see my work. But what I like to do is use watercolor paper that I am eventually going to paint on. And I actually want to sketch out my painting or my drawing. I want to sketch my drawing onto the watercolor paper and then just put it to the side and continue with something else. So let's say for this one, I'm thinking about, see if my pencil's gonna, yeah, it's gonna work. I'm thinking about doing something like a puppy. So maybe it's got a beautiful side leaf here. It's bending over a little bit. And then in the back, there's another one. Maybe one that's kind of folding in here a bit. And that's also bending over, so there'd be a highlight on the top. In the center, let's see, in the center we're going to have the core of the flower right up against there. And then on the left here, we'll have the front left petal. This is the top where, again, it's bending over. And it comes down. Kind of meets with that one. And then way down here, we've got the outer petal, which is going to meet up with that one. And this also has a outside here where it has folded over. Oops, did that a little too big. Wasn't really looking. Okay, so that's going to go like that. And this is going to go in like this. And then somewhere in here, there's a stem. So this is a very, very basic sketch. And this is really good paper, so it's not the end of the world that I'm doing a light bit of erasing here. So here's a few examples of other things that I have sketched in the past. So we've got a little Canadian landscape in the water. Here is a container of pudding. This is a little container of pudding. Two lovebirds sitting on a tree. What's under them? Yes, a castle in Arnsburg, Germany. Pineapple. A very cute little hummingbird, a very fat, cute little hummingbird, which would be a lot of fun to work with. I've often looked at this one and thought maybe I should take the time to paint it. This is pie, blueberry pie. And honestly, they look like a blueberry pie before it's gone in the oven because those blueberries are too plump and totally perfect to be blueberry pie that's already been baked. Then I have some flowers, and this is part of a series. This is the one that's already been finished. This is another one that hasn't been finished. This is the different stages of opening. Actually, it goes from here to here to here. Then there are some bananas, and these ones have gum arabic on here. If you're going to leave gum arabic on your piece for longer than a few days, be prepared. It might not come off. And I have gum arabic on a few of these. I'm not even sure if that is gum arabic or if that's actual ink. But either the gum arabic has stained it or it's ink. This has been on here for 2.5 years now. Just gives you an idea of how long it's been since I drew this. This is a turnover. Little pastry, an apple turnover. Which is exactly the same thing. It was once sketched out and I picked it up and thought, you know what, today's the day I'm going to go ahead and paint it. So for me, if I do some sketches, and there's a lot on there, right? If I do some sketches while I'm feeling inspired and I've got energy and I'm like, oh, let's go, and there's lots of beautiful things around me and I just really want to get something down on paper, then when I turn around later and maybe it's raining or I'm just not in the mood but I need to do a tutorial, or I feel like I should paint but I can't think of anything, I can go through, and this is just a very small example. These are a few of these are old, but this is a very tiny example of sketches, but I can go through and say, you know what, today I'm going to tackle this piece. Or maybe just looking at this piece will inspire me to draw something else. So that's how I get over artist block, just by having these little pre-done watercolor paintings. I would take my eraser, and I did a tutorial on this just a few days ago. I would take my eraser, roll it into kind of a sausage shape, and go over it to remove most of the graphite, so that what I'm left with is very, very light and very subtle. I hope that you found this interesting and usable. And if you guys have your own tips or tricks on how to get over the fear of the fear of the white page, or getting over artist block, or simply finding inspiration when you don't have any, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know what your ideas are, and I'd love to try them out. It's always fun to test new theories and see how other people do things. I'm Scarlett, thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Toodaloo!